sake, we are live in Fusion. We're doing a working drawing in parametric modeling. And for the sake of all of your learning, I decided we should record this, okay? So some basics on working drawings that maybe you didn't get. We need to cover all our bases here and find out, are you struggling with working drawings? First of all, first things to check, sheet size. This sheet is the correct size. It's an 11 by 8.5. Good start. Second thing, for the most part, we get rid of this default title block because it just gets in the way and it's really huge and ugly. You can get rid of that and you can bring in one of your own by doing a table and doing a empty table. Bring this in, drop it in the corner. Right away we get the option to delete some rows. We'll bring it down to 2 by 4 and then we can fill that information in later with the criticals for this. What I wanted to highlight next was, what do we put in here for working dimensions? First of all, John's orientation of this is just a little bit backwards. Which one is the best front view for this? The top one, that's there right now. So we can just move this down and get rid of the other one, or move it up. Kind of swap the positions of these two. We want to put as many dimensions as possible on the front view. So in general, John's dimensioning the circle diameter here is an incorrect way to do that. Instead, we want to dimension the circle diameter here. With the circle diameter, is this a parametric constraint or is it a fixed numeric constraint? It is fixed. Now, mine does not want to grab properly, so I'm hitting escape. I'm going to zoom in further. And I'm telling it, D, I want you to click, there we go, on the edge. Always at an angle with anything that is a radius or a diameter. We never go straight horizontal or straight vertical. That is a rule. It's a rule of dimensioning. So I'm going to click out here. The other critical dimensions on this, what's our D1 on this one? D1 could be any number. Which feature? This feature right here is our D1 feature. So the diameter of that arc is supposed to be D1. Right now it says it's a radius of 5. How do we change that? Hit escape on the keyboard to get out of the dimension command, then double click on that and it allows us to edit the text. So what I would type in here is D1 because that's my driver number, and then in parentheses I'm going to put a radius of 0.5 because right now that's what it is. Dimension, go back into dimension. This arc right here, I can't leave it as radius 0.25. So I hit escape, double click here. What's the driven dimension that this is supposed to be? D1 times 1/2 or D1 divided by 2. I actually like D1 times 1/2 because it looks a lot better than otherwise it looks like D 1/2. So that would be the correct way to present that. What else am I missing on this drawing? What's the other critical dimension? Width, no. Well, that's a critical one, yes, up here, but we've got it and I didn't show you that. This again would be an incorrect way to show it. We never show circles by linear dimensions, so delete that. There's one other critical dimension to making this thing work. Anybody? The length, nope, good guess. It's the distance between the centers of these arcs or center point circles, and we don't have those center marks, so this is another one that maybe you haven't seen a lot. Watch me work. I could either click right here in center mark, Ben Brandt, or I could hit the C key because that's the quick command. So this allows for me to show center marks. The crosshairs, where is the center of this? I need one there and I need one there. And then this distance between is the most critical. So D for dimension. Whoopah. Whoopah again, out. This is a little messy. Normally it should be between views, but just to keep things clean, let's go over here. 0.5. Can I leave it as 0.5? No. Escape. Yeah, so I'm going to do the D1 times, because it looks cleaner, 0.5. Enter. Oh, that didn't work. I could put a value in with these two, but the driven one just says this. Everything goes off of D1, right? So we are pretty much golden. The last things we need here, your zoom is opposite of mine. That's difficult. Is we need that scatter plot pasted in here. So that's where we go back to sending this out as a PDF and opening it with preview and throwing it in there. You could also try to insert a JPEG image. You could get your scatter plot to be a JPEG and insert it in here. Multiple workflows, okay? Everything else in here looks correct. I would change this. I would right-click on this view, and I would change it to be a solid. Whenever we have the isometric, it looks nicer to have it filled in like that. And then your criticals for this: name, date, scale of the drawing, the project title, which would be 4 or 5 cams in motion, the individual part file, which would be Pear cam, and units. It is in inches. Okay, those are the critical. There's 6 of them there that would be critical to put in there. Anybody see anything else we're missing? No. The ultimate guiding light for a working drawing is, can I build this part given all of the dimensions here, and are there no extra dimensions? And if that's the case, then you've done it correctly. I could build that based on the dimensions that are given. Oh, I should show you one other thing, units. If you haven't done this, it's fun. You can change the units in the drawing. Under annotation settings, you can change this to be, the precision to be 3 or even 4 places. So that should have changed this to 0.1875, but it did not. I wonder if I have to delete it and redo it. Let's try it. D. Nope. Precision. Oh, that's angular dimension. Linear dimension precision to 4 units. Now I've got my actual 0.1875. They look much better. Instead of 0.19, that's like sig fig rounding. Nobody likes that, okay? I'll put this as a PDF. I'm going to save it first. And we will call that an episode.